All right, ladies, so, sorry, I'm thinking through the way to start off with this bad boy. Let's go ahead, let's start in child's pose. Perfect. Arms out in front of you, so extended child's pose. And we'll just come through, big breath through your stomach, and out. You can get through your nose or through your mouth. Ujjayi breath as you so choose. I also don't use a lot of the Sanskrits because I can't pronounce them very well, so I have a hard time with that one. Good, and then your legs as wide or as close together as you want. Breathing through, dropping that chest to open it up. If we pull through our fingertips to open up those chest muscles, those latissimus dorsi, really breathing through our rib cage. We can walk this off to the left and get a nice side body stretch. Breathing again through the diaphragm, through the rib cage, and out. Can't really breathe through my nose right now. And off to the right. Breathing, big breath in and out. Good. And back to center. Big reach through the fingertips. And then we'll come up into tabletop position, and we're going to get a nice thoracic opener. Left hand to the center. We're going to send the right up to the sky. And then we're going to tuck it under and stretch. Left arm can come up by your ear, really stretching through that thoracic spine. Your right hand can press into the mat for a good twist, gently. And back to center. Right arm comes back up again, twist through it all. And hand back to the mat. Switch sides, right hand to the center. Left comes up and twist through. Right arm can come up by the ear. And we are breathing through. Big breath in. A little pressure with that left hand. Good. And back through center. Left arm comes up. One more for that twist. And back to tabletop. We'll go through our cat-cows. Toes can be curled or flat, whatever's more comfy. Inhale, drop the stomach, look up. And exhale, round through the spine. Good. And take a few on your own journey here. And breathing through it. The only thing about recording is there's no music, so I apologize about that.
I didn't even notice.
Oh, good. Just kidding. I can sing for you if you want. Good. Wonderful. And then we're going to go straight into our down dog. So curl those back toes, send our butt back. And just go through whatever movement you want to here. We can pedal it out. We can drop our heels side to side. Whatever really just your body calls you to warm up before we get through the full vinyasa flow. Pedaling it out. Walking the dog is like my favorite.
I just love down dog.
I know. I love when it's like people are like, oh, that's not really a resting pose. I was like, you have no idea it is. I know. You need to get into it. Good. And then we're just going to look at our hands and we're going to walk, hop, or step our feet to our hands at the top of the mat. Forward fold. You can keep your hands. You can ragdoll it. You can monkey pose, hands under your feet. Whatever feels best for you. Bend your knees as much as you want to protect those hammies and low back. Side to side if you want, really whatever your legs and spine ask for right here. Good. And then on our inhale, rise up, tall mountain, arms come up by your ears. You can stay here, you can go side to side and backwards, little extension. Whatever your spine so chooses, you can cactus your arms, bring your elbows down, opening your chest. Good, and then inhale, rise back up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant our hands, come back into a high plank. We'll go through our sun salutation A. Lower down through chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Good. And we'll look at our hands. We'll hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. Forward fold. It's been experimented by floating and falling on my face, quite frankly, all the time. Inhale, rise up. Good. And we'll get a little faster. Exhale, forward fold. Plant our hands, plank pose. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Pedal out what you need to, and when we're ready, hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. Forward fold. One more sun salutation A. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant our hands, hop or step back to plank. Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Beautiful. And then when we're ready, hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. Forward fold. And then we're gonna start our sun salutation B. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, chair pose, sink into it. Knees can be apart or together, whatever feels best. And we're just gonna sink into that. Feel the thighs burn, feel the booty burn. I feel it, I swear. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into plank. High to low we flow. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Ground through the left foot. Take the right foot, step it between your hands. Turn that back arch, rise up, warrior one, both hands forward, or warrior two, whichever one you want. I mean, this is like choose your own adventure, so whichever pose you want for this one. Good, and then when you're ready, hands to the mat, high to low we flow. You can skip chaturanga and go straight to down dog, or go through your chaturanga and meet in down dog. Good, pedaling it out, and then ground through the right foot. Step the left forward. Rise up, warrior one or two on the other side. I'm gonna cough, I apologize. Good, sinking into it. And then hands to the mat. High to low we flow. Meet it down dog at your own pace. Wonderful. Pedal it out in down dog. And then when we're ready, hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. First and forward fold. And then on our inhale, rise up into chair pose. Sink into the butt. Arms are up or heart center, whatever feels best for you. You know what? It's totally fine. That's how we make money on YouTube. And forward fold. Oh, wonderful. And then inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Wonderful. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then forward fold. And inhale, rise up, chair pose. One more sun salutation B. Really get the hips warmed up. Good. Hands to the mat. High plank. Lower down through chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Good. This time ground through the left and send your right straight back for three-legged dog. Step between your hands. Rise up, warrior one. Hold, feel the burn. And exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. High to low we flow. Meet it down dog at your own pace. Wonderful. Ground through the right foot, send the left straight back, three-legged dog. Step between your hands. Rise up, warrior one. Good. Hold, breathe, feel the burn. And then high to low we flow. Meet it down dog at your own pace. Skip chaturanga if you wanna. Wonderful. Pedal it out. And then hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. Forward fold. And then on our inhale, rise up, chair pose. Sink into it. Try to get a little lower this time if you can. And then inhale, rise all the way up. All right, hopefully we're warm. Ready. I'm warm, ready to roll. Awesome. Yep, tissue time. No problems there. It's fall, everybody's got tissue time. All righty then, let's get into it. So, inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold into plank pose. Hold in plank pose. Lower down through chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Wonderful. Ground through the left foot. Send the right straight back. And then right knee to right elbow, come forward. Send it back. And then step between your hands. Rise up first, warrior one on this side. Hold for a breath. And then open it up, warrior two. Shoulder blades come together, sinking into that right foot. Good. And then hands behind our back, lace our fingertips. We can either stay here or we can dive forward for a humble warrior. Opening up the chest, opening up the hips. Big breath in and out. And then inhale, rise back up. Warrior two. Woo, flip that front palm and reverse our warrior to the back of the mat. Good. And then back into warrior two. Feel the right thigh burning. Come back into warrior one. Hold for a breath. And then high to low we flow. Meet it down dog at your own pace. Skip chaturanga if you ever want to. Good. Pedal it out. Ground through the right foot. Send the left straight back. Left knee, left elbow, come forward. Send it back. And then step between your hands. Rise up first, warrior one. Hold for a breath. Good. Open it up, warrior two. Hold for a breath. Hands come behind you. Lacing. Stay here or dive forward for humble warrior. Opening the chest. Good. Rise back up. Warrior two. Flip that front palm. Reverse your warrior. Good. Back into warrior two. Pop it forward for warrior one. And high to low we flow. Meet it down dog at your own pace. Wonderful. What's the only thing about not being able to breathe through your nose is talking and breathing is hard. All right. I'm like, let's just get this workout going. All right, ground through the left foot, send the right straight back. And then opposite knee, opposite elbow, twist across the body. Send it back. And step between our hands. Rise up, warrior one. Good. And then arms come back behind you and lean forward for airplane pose. Hold here, squeeze together. And then rise back up, warrior one. Wonderful. And then we can either stay here or we can push off for a warrior three. Engaging the glutes, engaging the shoulders, holding for a breath. And then to a count of three, slowly lower that front knee. 2, 3, back into warrior one. Good. And then open it up, warrior two. Good. Reverse our warrior. And then right elbow comes to our right knee. Left arm comes up, extended side angle. You can keep your elbow on the knee or all the way down to the mat. Big breath in. Good. Back into warrior two. Come back into warrior one. And then hands to the mat. High to low we flow. Good. And in down dog, pedal it out. 2 big breaths. Wonderful. Ground through the right foot. Send the left straight back. And then left knee to opposite elbow, sorry. You understood it. Send it back and then step in between your hands. Left and right gets a little confusing sometimes apparently. Good, warrior one. Wonderful. And then hands back, come forward, airplane pose. Hold for a breath. Rise back up, warrior one, and then push off. Come into warrior three, engaging the glutes and the core. Shoulders plugged in. To a count of 3, slowly lower back into warrior one. 1, 2, 3, warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And left elbow comes to left knee. Right arm comes up. You can keep your hand on your knee or drop down for extended side angle. Good. Back up, warrior two. Warrior one. And then high to low we flow. Meet it down dog at our own pace. I feel the sweat starting. Good, pedal it out. And then take that right foot, send it straight back. Stack your hips, open up towards the ceiling. I know, hip flexor feels so good. You can stay here or you can flip your dog and come all the way over, or just keep your hips stacked. Stay in the hip stack, feeling it. Wonderful. If you've flipped your dog, come back into stacked hips. Come back into three-legged dog and step your foot between your hands. Rise up, warrior one. Hold for a breath. And then airplane pose or airplane lunge. Then we're going to come into airplane pose by pushing off that back foot and taking flight. I know, flying airplane. Holding here, feeling the burn, and then we'll lower back down to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise up, warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Back into warrior two. Extend your front knee and dive forward for triangle pose. Shin, foot, or floor for that right hand. Reach up towards the sky. Look up at it. Good. And then back in to warrior two. Hold for a breath. Back in to warrior one. And then high to low we flow. Meet it down dog at your own pace. Wonderful. And in down dog, pedaling it out. And I'm gonna cough, I apologize. And then ground through your right foot, send your left straight back. Stack your hips on this side and just twist open. Stay with your hips stacked or flip your dog all the way over. Each one is a great option. Holding. Wonderful. If you flipped your dog, come back into stacked hips. And then come back into three-legged dog. Step your left foot between your hands. Rise up, warrior one. First into airplane lunge. And then when you're ready, take flight into airplane pose. Hold for a breath. And then to a count of 3 slowly. 1, 2, 3. Warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And then extend that front leg. Triangle pose on the other side. Good, look up towards the ceiling. Left hand can come to shin, foot, or floor. Big breath in. And out. Back up, warrior two. Swing it over for warrior one. And then high to low we flow. Meet it down dog at your own pace. I just feel like it's a good way to figure out where you want to go with it. And it rhymes. All right. Pedaling it out. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. Open your shoulders as you need to. Yep, rocking side to side. Nod your head, yes and no. Shake it side to side, whatever you want. Good. Coming up onto our toes. Woo! And then let's get a little bit of a core burner. So let's slide forward into plank pose. Holding for a few. Big breath in, glutes and core are engaged. And then right hand to the center. Let's rotate onto those feet. Bring your left up. You can modify by putting your knee on the ground, whatever feels best.
Just shaking.
Yep, shaking is fine. If we want to make it a little crazier, lift that top leg off. Nope. No problem. Holding. And then we're going to take that left leg and step it up to our hands, however we choose to get there. Right hand still on the mat. Left is going to twist up to the sky. Good. Holding here. Wonderful. And then bring your left hand to the inside of your foot. You're going to turn that foot and come into a Skandasana on the left. You can keep your hands on the mat or you can bring your hands to your heart and twist up towards the ceiling. And have a big breath here. Wonderful. Big breath in and out. And then whether you use your hands or just your feet, we're gonna come to Skandasana on our right side. Wonderful. Holding here. Twisting up to the sky if we choose. Great. And then we're going to come back into low lunge at the top of the mat. Right hand on the mat. And then we're going to take it back into side plank on the right side. Woo! All right. And then when we're ready, come back into high plank pose, both hands on the mat, holding for a breath. Our car is burning. Left hand to the mat, right arm comes up. We can stay here. You can modify with your knee, or we can make it a little more challenging with that arm coming up for star. Hold for a breath. And then when we're ready, step that right foot up to our hand and twist off to the right, left hand still on the mat. Good, hold for a breath. Wonderful. And then right hand comes to the inside of our foot. Twist that foot, Skandasana on the right. We can stay here. This time we can try and wrap our arms around our right leg for a bind. Yeah, I love binds. They feel so good on your freaking shoulders. Good. And big breath in and out. Loosen your bind. And then Skandasana off to the left. Good. Open it up here. Bind if you so choose. Big breath in. And big breath out. Wonderful. We're coming back into a low lunge. At the top of our mat, plant our left hand. Right foot goes back, side plank on the left. Hold for a breath. And then plank pose at the top of the mat. Lower all the way down onto our tummy. And first we're gonna come forearms on the mat. We're gonna come into Sphinx pose. So we can either stay low like this, or we can rise up. A little gentle pull back with your forearms to open up that chest a little more. Rock side to side, whatever you so choose for your adventure. And breathing. It's hard to breathe when you're pulling your heart forward. Wonderful. And then we're gonna come all the way down onto our whichever ear to the mat. Your hands can either be up by your shoulders or down by your sides. We're gonna do locust pose or bow pose, whichever one you want. If you're coming to locust, you're just bringing everything off the mat and your legs are staying straight. You can have your hands behind you or up by your shoulders. If we wanna come into bow pose, we're grabbing our ankles, engaging our feet, and rising up. And lower. You can switch ears to the mat if you want to. And exhale. Wonderful. Rise back up, locust or bow pose, whatever you choose. If you're doing bow, engage your feet. Rise up, squeeze your glutes. Holding and lowering. Opposite ear to the mat. Wonderful. We're going to engage our arms on this next locust pose. So bring your arms up in front of you. And when we rise up, they're all going to come up. And then we're going to pull down. Bring our elbows into our ribs. Push back up. Pull down. Good. For 2 more. 2. And 1. And lower back down. Big breath. Wonderful. Before we make our way onto our back, we're going to come onto our knees, pending how soft the mats are. So we're going to do some camel, but if it's too much on the knees, we can skip it. But coming onto our knees, your toes can be curled or flat. Hands to your low back or all the way to your ankles if you want. And we're just going to slowly open our heart to the sky, We can stay with our hands in our low back, or we can reach towards our ankles, open the chest, open the throat, expose it. This is part of your chakra stretching. And slowly come back to the top. We can stay up tall, or we can come resting our butt on our heels for one breath. We'll do one more camel after this. Reverse it by forward folding. I like it. Wonderful. Rising back up, hands where you sew shoes. Lowering back, hands to your heels if you want. And raising your chest and your throat to the sky. Big breath in and out. Good. Unwinding. Sitting back on your heels. You can either come forward as well and reverse that with a little, what is this, rabbit pose? Good. Big breath in and out. Wonderful. And then we're going to flip onto our back. Gotta move the microphone so I don't dig into myself. Yes! It's also toasty in here. We're going to do bridge or wheel pose, whichever you so choose. We're gonna come up, bridging first. If you choose to do wheel right away, that's fine. Good. Bind underneath if you want to. Big breath in and out. And lower back down. Wonderful. Rise back up if you choose wheel. Take wheel. Engage the glutes in both bridge and wheel pose. Big breath in through the psoas and out. And lower back down. Slowly vertebrae by vertebrae. Big breath in. We got two more at your own pace, bridge or wheel. Whenever you're ready, rise up. And breathe. Lower when you want. Take your own adventure through your bridge and wheel pose. One more on your own pace. If your hands are slippery, don't fall out of wheel. Big breath in and out. And when you're ready, lower back down and squeeze your knees gently into your chest. You can rock back and forth for a spine massage. Wonderful. Get the last bit of core burn. Send your legs straight up. They can either stay here, or you can raise yourself off the ground and hold. You can stay here, or you can initiate the flutter kicks. Whatever your adventure chooses. Feel the burn of the core. You can point or keep flat. I just like them pointed. For some reason, it feels better to me. And 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. Squeeze back in. From here, you can take, if you like to do inversions, you can do feet up the wall, can bring dead man's pose. We can do headstand, handstand, take whatever inversion you pick for the day and breathe through it. Feel the spine working. And then come out of whatever inversion you so choose and come into first child's pose where we started before we take our lovely Shavasana. Big breath in and out. Wonderful. And when we're ready, we'll rise and flip into the best pose of the day. Onto our back. If there's something else you need a twist here, we can take a twist. If we want to take figure 4, we can take figure 4. Whatever twist or variation you want for your spine, breathing through whatever you choose, or come straight to Shavasana, whatever pose calls to your cool down. And we'll take our final resting place. Hands can be beside you, hands can be on your tummy, hands can be on your chest, wherever you're comfy. And we will breathe through our Shavasana. Slowly bring awareness back into your toesies, into your hands, taking Shavasana as long as you want. Just start bringing aliveness back to the body we just worked. Just take 3 deep, deep breaths, filling the stomach. Big breath in, and one more. And if we want to, roll onto our right or left as we see fit for the recovery pose. And then when we're ready, as we see fit, seated at the top of our mat. Normally the teacher's there and we namaste, but come to a seated position. And we're catching our breath again. Our hands can stay at our sides. We can bring them to our chest. And as per usual, our namaste, forward folds. And namaste.